Hello, students. Today we are going to read a poem from the book Hornbill, and this is page number 41. And the name of the poem, as is to be seen on your screens, this is The Voice of the Rain, and this is written by Walt Whitman. This is a very unique poem because Walt Whitman has imagined a lot of things, and this is really, you can say, imaginative attitude that he had shown while writing this poem. And he actually wanted to ask a question from the rain, and very, you can say, it was not expected by him that he is going to get a reply from the rain. So this is very unexpected answer that he got, a unique reply he got from the rain. And what kind of conversation he was having with the rain, he has explained everything in this poem. So I am going to read this poem. And who art thou? This is to be seen on your screens now. Who art thou? I said I to the soft falling shower. This is very important to understand that what is the meaning of art and thou. Now this is actually ancient language. Ancient English language words are used here by Walt Whitman, and ART actually means R, and THOU thou generally means you, means who are you. Very, you can say, cautious, very carelessly, very casually, he asked, Walt Whitman asked a question from the soft falling shower, and very, you can say, differently, uniquely, and it was really odd to get an answer by the rain, because the name of the poem is also Voice of the Rain. And there is something really different about this poem, is that this poem is all about personification, because this is to be seen, this is to be heard by us, that when a person, some inanimate object will be compared with some animate things, it would be called as personification. You should know what is the meaning of personification. Personification generally is used by a poet as a poetic device to give some human characteristics or features to an inanimate object. Inanimate object means walls, sky, rain, or maybe table, means anything that has no life. If it would be given some human characteristic, it would be called as personification. So this poem is actually based on personification, because rain is personified, because rain cannot talk, rain cannot speak. But here Walt Whitman asked a question very casually to the rain, and rain had given an answer to him. It means that rain was personified here. So he asked, who art thou? Means who are you? Very casually, Walt Whitman asked a question from the soft falling shower, from the raindrops which were falling from the sky. Said I to the soft falling shower, which strange to tell. Now this is very important, that it was really strange to tell. Why he has used this? Because it was really difficult to think or imagine that gave me an answer. Means Voice of the Rain means the rain actually gave an answer to the question that was asked by Walt Whitman from the rain, as here translated. And this has been translated here. After this, whatever we are going to see, this is going to be the answer that was given by the rain. It is translated here. Next line. I am the poem of the earth, and said the voice of the rain, eternal I rise, impalpable, out of the land and the bottomless sea. Now this is again very important to understand that what is written here, I am the poem of the earth, means the rain, the water, the raindrops, they actually said, they gave an answer, they gave reply to the question of Walt Whitman, and they described themselves as the poem of the earth. They said, the rain said that she was the poem of the earth. Said the voice of the rain, eternal I rise. And then she explained herself. The raindrops, they said that eternal, this word is very important. What is the meaning of this word? Eternal. Eternal here means everlasting, continuous, Perpetual is another word. Perpetual. Perpetual, everlasting, continuous, means that is not going to end. That is not going to get finished. That would be called as eternal. So Raindrops said to Walt Whitman that eternal I rise means the rainwater, the water, it actually eternally, continuously, everlastingly, it rise. Rise means it goes up, impalpable out of the land. What is the meaning of impalpable here? Please underline this word impalpable and write down the meaning also. Impalpable means unnoticed. Now, why unnoticed is written here? Because unnoticed means that water, when it would get heated, then it turns into water vapor, and water vapor cannot be seen, cannot be touched, and the things which cannot be seen, which cannot be touched, they can be called as impalpable. So eternal means everlastingly, continuously, this water changes into water vapor and it goes upwards to the sky, and it cannot be seen, it cannot be noticed, it cannot be touched by anybody. Out of the land. Out of the land means from the land it goes up in the form of water vapor. And bottomless sea, not only from the land, not only its source is land, but its source is also the bottomless sea. Bottomless, why it is written here? Because the sea actually is so deep that we cannot measure its length or its depth. So that is why bottomless sea is written here. Next line, it means that Rain has explained herself as the poem of the earth, and she also tells the poet that continuously she goes up in the form of water vapor from the land and from the bottomless sea. Then she says upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed. Now this is again very important, that it goes upwards, upward to heaven. Upward to heaven here means towards the sky. Towards the sky it goes. Whence here means where. Where vaguely formed. This is again a very important word, vaguely. What is the meaning of vague? Vague means unclear. The things which are clear, they would be called as clear, but the opposite of clear is vague. Vague means it is unclear, it is not predetermined, or maybe it is not predefined. So where this water vapor would go to the heaven, and here it is going to change its form. Vaguely formed. Vaguely means it is going to change, indefinite shape it is going to get. So in an indefinite shape it would get altogether changed and yet the same. Means, what is the meaning of altogether changed? Means this water vapor is going to change into clouds. Vaguely formed means some clouds would be made, and these clouds are going to get formed in some indefinite shapes. Altogether changed means this is going to change its shape and its color, and its basic form is going to get changed, because on the land, in the sea, it was in the form of water. Then it turned into water vapor. Then it goes upwards to the sky, where in heaven it is going to get changed into clouds. So a lot of transformation, a lot of changes are going to happen in its form. Altogether changed and yet the same. Means maybe it is going to change its physical form, but the basic form, the soul of the water is same. It is still water. It is still water. Maybe it is in the form of ice, maybe it is in the form of water, or maybe gas, but the water is always there. So maybe the form was changed, but yet it was having the same soul. I descend. Then the water says, the rain says that it comes down. It descends. Now this is again a very important word to understand. What is the meaning of this descend? Descend means ascend. The opposite of ascend is descend. Descend means to come down, and descend means to come down, and ascend means to go up. So I descend means I come down to lave the draughts. Now this is again very important word, and it is written in your books also. What is the meaning of lave? Lave here means wash. Bathe is another meaning of it. bathe. Bathe and bath are two different things we should understand. Bath is bath and bathe is bathe. Bathe is a verb and bath is a noun. So he says, I descend means I come down to lave the draughts. Lave here means to bath, to you can say wash, to bathe the draughts. Draughts means the dirty particles, the dust particles, the dirt, you can say the dry soil. I come down and I bathe, I wash the dust particles, dry particles, atomies, dust layers of the globe. Means I come down and I wash all the things which require water, which are required to be washed. And all that in them without me were seeds only, latent and unborn. These two words are very important here. What is the meaning of latent? Latent means hidden. And unborn means unsprouted. So he says, means voice of the rain says that she comes down to, it comes down to the earth or maybe to the soil again, and it gives the life to the seeds which are hidden, because we know that a farmer would put the seeds underground, but they cannot grow without water. They need moisture, they need some water, they need to get irrigated, and they cannot get irrigated, they cannot get sprouted until and unless we are not going to provide them water. So all that in them without me were seeds only. Means if I would not come back down to the earth, there are some seeds which are going to die, which are going to dry without me. They would only be latent and unborn till I would not come back. So water, the rain would come back to the earth and it would provide life to the unborn seeds, to the latent. Latent means hidden seeds. And forever, by day and night, I give back life to my own origin. This line is again very important. And forever, by day and night. By day and night means throughout day, throughout 24 hours, 365 days a year, I give back life to my own origin. Why she has called it her own origin? Because we know that the water vapor or the clouds, they generally got their life. Why? Because there is water on the land, because some water is there in the sea, and this ocean water gets heated up and then it changes into water vapor and it goes up, and there are some clouds which are going to get formed. But because the life, actually the water cycle actually gets started from the land and from the bottomless sea, that is why she has called its origin, because it is the origination point, it is the point from where it gets its life. So by day and night I give back life means rain gives back life to the land which was the origination point of its own, and make pure and beautify it. And not only it comes back and gives life to its own origin, but it gives purity, it purifies it. It purify it, and at the same time it gives life to and beautify it also. Not only it gives beauty, but it purify also. So it purifies its own origination point, it gives life to it, and at the same time it beautifies the own origin of its own life. Now after this we can see that what is the difference between the lines which are read by us till now, and after that these two lines, these last two lines, they are written inside the brackets. This is very important to understand, that there was a dialogue that was going on. This is very important to understand that this is a dialogue, this is a conversation. ये बातचीत हो रही थी किसके बीच में? Between the rain, the voice of the rain, and Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman asked a question and he was given an answer by the voice of the rain. Now this dialogue was complete, एंड व्हेन देयर कॉन्वर्सेशन, उनकी जब बातचीत खत्म हो गई, नाउ द पोएट हैज रिटन 2 lines inside 2 brackets. And why this is written in brackets? Because he wanted to distinguish it. He wanted to divide the poem into 2 parts. First one, the question means the conversation that was going on, and after the dialogue he actually imagined something, and he compared this water cycle with something else. So he says, for song issuing from its birthplace, after fulfillment, wandering, wrecked or unwrecked, duly with love returns. Now, this is very important. For song. Now, what is the meaning of for song? Actually, Walt Whitman started imagining something else. He said that the water cycle, the cycle of water, that water get, you can say, changes into water vapor, and after evaporation it goes up, and then it changes into clouds, then after condensation it comes down again on the earth, and it purifies the dust particles of the soil. But he says, in the same way, there is another cycle, and this is the cycle of a song. This is the cycle of music. He says that as the water goes up and comes down and purifies its own origin, in the same way, a song, the music, this art also has the same cycle. He says, for song, in the same way, song issuing from its own birthplace, means issuing means a song would be sung, or maybe it would be written by a poet or by a singer. It would be sung, and it would get out of its birthplace after fulfillment. Means, what is the meaning of fulfillment here? Why we create music, why we sing songs? Because we want to give pleasure to the audience. Now, when a song would be sung, we need it to be heard by somebody. So he says that music and song, they actually have the same kind of objective. And what is their aim? That is their fulfillment. And what is the meaning of fulfillment here? Fulfillment means that they need to be heard, and somebody should get enjoyment, or maybe somebody should take pleasure out of it. किसी को मज़ा आना चाहिए गाना सुनने का, तभी म्यूज़िक का फ़ायदा तभी है. तो he says, in the same way, a song would be sung, and it would come out from poet's heart. A poem would be written by a poet, and after fulfillment means after giving pleasure to the audience, to the readers, wandering means going here and there. Because when a song would be sung, अगर मैं गाना गाता हूँ, it would be going in different directions. Wrecked or unwrecked, very 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 important 2 words. Wrecked or unwrecked means heard or unheard, listened or not listened, whether given attention by somebody or not, duly with love returns. He says this song or this music, this part of music would be made and created by a singer or by a poet, whether it is listened or not listened, whether it is heard or not heard, whether somebody cared for it or not, it does not matter. Because duly with love returns means it would get back to its own origination point, and it would provide pleasure to the heart of the poet or the singer only. Means, as the water would go up and come back and purify its own origination point, in the same way the music or a song would be sung or created or written by a poet or by a singer. It would be sung, whether it is heard or not heard, it does not matter, because it is going to fulfill its work. And what is its fulfillment? Fulfillment is to give pleasure. Whether somebody has taken pleasure out of it, it doesn't matter, because it would come back to the poet's heart, and poet's heart would get purified after reading its own poem. After listening, after singing a song, a singer would get purified, and it would get a lot of pleasure out of it. in the same way as the rainwater does. So this is the poem that we have read today. The poem was The Voice of the Rain, and this is all about the water cycle. The poem actually tells us that Walt Whitman, the poet, starts speaking to the rain, and it describes the cycle of rain also, and the poet also compares rain with music. And in this poem only, the poet gives his imaginative description with the rain. What kind of description he had given to the rain, we have you can say read it, and I tried to explain it to you. I think this is enough for today, and tomorrow or maybe in the next class we are going to get some question answers because the poem is already complete. Till then, take care. I hope you would have got some idea about the poem. Thank you very much. Bye bye. See you.